Okay, so today I'm going to talk about building muscle. Building muscle. I think people have overcomplicated it. So today I just wanted to talk about it and try and simplify it. How do we build muscle? Well, you know what? It is actually quite easy. It's just that I think that over the years people have just overcomplicated it. What worked back then works now and will work in the future. It always will. I mean, firstly, you do have genetics. Genetics do come into it. I mean, when you're at school, you got the skinny guy, you got the naturally muscular guy, and you got the fat guy. Your mesomorph, your ectomorph, and your endomorph. These people, so you're going to fit into one of them. So sometimes you've been dealt a good card and some people haven't so much, but that doesn't mean to say you can't build muscle. Everyone can build muscle. I'm not saying you can be Mr. Olympia, but you can certainly build muscle. So how do we build muscle? Well, it's easy. I mean, firstly, I get people that come in here and they're so confused because they've watched so much stuff. They've been exposed to so much on the internet, on YouTube, everything. As where back in the day we weren't. We just read very limited information that was basically in a magazine. And that information was normally good and sound, as where now you've got people, that's why I'm doing these videos, because I just want to try to break it down, just talk about it and simplify it and get back to, just trying to be honest, really. So this is what we know we need to do. Firstly, we need to train. We all know this. It might sound silly and it might sound like, oh yeah, well, obvious, but when we train, we need to train to a point of which we're breaking muscle tissue down. We are damaging muscle fibers. We are damaging the muscle, and it needs to then repair stronger and bigger than it was before to cope with the demand. It's simple. If we're not obviously training hard enough, we're not sending that signal. The body's not going to need to get bigger or stronger. But if you're training really hard, at a point of which it will have to get bigger and stronger to cope. So we need to do that. Now, once we've broke muscle fiber, once we've broke muscle down and we've damaged the muscle, it needs to recover. Okay, so we need to give it nutrition, we need to give it protein, we need to give it carbs, fats, we need to give it what it requires to help it to get bigger and stronger. And alongside that, we obviously need to rest. So we break muscle down, we leave the gym, we put in the nutrition, and then we rest, and it will then grow bigger and stronger than it did before. It has to, because the body wants to adapt. That's what the body wants to do. It will always adapt to the conditions that it's put upon it. So then once we've done that, it's just the smallest amount. You won't even notice it. And we have to keep doing that and doing that and doing it over and over and over and over again. And that's how the muscle grows. Now, it seems simple, yet people, I don't know, they seem to really they're looking into too much. Every day, I think to myself, right, today, I'm just going to train as hard as I can. Do the best I can under the circumstances. Some days are better than others. They always will be. I'm going to try and eat to the best of my ability. I'm going to try and get as much protein as I can. I'm going to try and eat regularly. I'm concentrating on the basics. And I'm going to get my rest. I do them 3 things to the best of my ability, and that's all I can do. And then eventually you're going to get growth. As where people are so busy concentrating on silly things, really, that talking about it and talking about, if they take this and if they take that and if they do this, do that. Look, just do them 3 things correctly and well, and you will grow. People are getting too technical. Now, the thing with it is, the other problem is that people are looking at advanced bodybuilders and trying to do what they're doing. You need to do what you need to do at the level that you're at. And that's the problem. So it's all right going on here. When I watch these YouTube videos that are top pro bodybuilders, I use it for entertainment. Because that's it is. It's entertainment. We haven't got the genetics they've got. We're not in the position that they are in. So, we look at it as entertainment. We need to do what we need to do to grow. So you've got a beginner, it's frustrating because I've got people that I see that have been training years and haven't changed. I just feel like grabbing them and saying, look, do this workout, stick a couple of extra meals in your mouth, get 8 hours sleep and you'll grow. But yet they can't do it. They're too busy going online, watching, I don't know, Ronnie Coleman's, advanced leg workout, squatting 350 kilos. It's ridiculous. They don't need to be worrying about that, okay? They need to worry about what they're doing, focus on what they're doing. And like I said, if you tried to eat the way that they're eating, you probably couldn't, you'd be sick. You can't take what they're taking, you can't do what they're doing. You haven't built up to that yet, none of us have. So I think there's a lot of deluded people that think they're maybe better than they are, which is a bad trait in bodybuilding, by the way. Whenever I've looked at myself, I've always been very, very disappointed. I always look at myself and I think, I've got a week this, I've got a week that, got a week that. Never really been confident, and although it seems it, when I've done the shows, I've always probably done better in shows, because I've not done shows that are out of my league, if you know what I mean. I see people that are constantly doing big shows. They've never won a local show. They want to be pro bodybuilders before they've even started. So of course they go their whole career and they haven't got any trophies. As where I just built it up slowly, started at the very, very smallest show, built from there, built from there, built from there. I wouldn't go on to the next level unless I'd won that first, and I think that's the thing to do. Some people, think they're at this level when they're not, and that's always going to be a problem. So as far as muscle growth is concerned, start at the beginning, slowly build it up, making sure that your food is as good as it can be, making sure that you train hard enough to stimulate muscle growth, making sure you get your rest. And it is quite funny when we say this, because everyone will watch this video and say, well, that's obvious, and yet people are not doing it. They're not doing it. They're spending longer online than they are actually training. I'm training twice a day at the moment. I'm making sure my food is as good as it can be. I'm concentrating on getting my rest and doing everything that I possibly can. I'm not really worried what so-and-so's doing. I don't really care what that pro's doing. At the end of the day, I might watch it for entertainment, but I'm just bothered about what I'm doing, because that's all that matters. I have to focus and do what I can do to get growth. And I think that is a big, big problem. And we never used to have that years ago. And now people are exposed to too much. And I see people that are in an absolute panic. They don't know what to eat anymore. They don't know how to train. They've been bombarded with so much that they're so confused. It's very difficult to wipe all that out of their head and start from basics. So that's why I'm doing this video. Try to just get rid of all of that. Let's just get to the gym. Let's just have a really hard workout. Let's leave the gym. Let's put in, and I say a good post-workout, like my after train, get your recovery, get your meals in, get your rest, and it will happen, and you're going to grow muscle. Well, it's as simple as that. Now, obviously, as you get bigger, the intensity needs to increase, the weights need to increase, the food needs to increase. Now, this is another thing. A lot of people say, okay, so why do people only get so big? Why don't I look like why aren't I huge? Well, I try to be, but like I said, there's many factors, like I said at the beginning. Genetics play a part. And not just that, it's whether you're able to, it's whether you can do it, it's whether you want to do it, You might know what to do, it's whether you can execute that or not, And like I said, I do what I can. Everyone has a level of which they're prepared to go to. So some people will get to a certain level and that's it for them, They need to eat better, but they can't. They need to train harder, but they can't. They need to get more rest, but they can't. That's it, that's their level. That's where some people I know that are just prepared to take it to whatever level is needed. Plus they have the genetics on their side as well. So, muscle growth, we can all grow muscle. That's what I'm saying. Like I said, we can't all be pro bodybuilders. We can't all be Mr. Olympias. But we can certainly grow muscle. And I know people that honestly have been doing this years and they haven't grown at all. Simply because, and all I can say is, from my observation, I mean, I could be wrong, is just that they're just too much into what everyone else is doing, and they're not concentrating on the basics, them 3 basic things. Obviously, there's a fourth thing that we can put into the equation. You know, people talk about gear. I mean, obviously, gear will amplify them first three things. And that's another big problem. People thinking that the only reason why bodybuilders get big is because they take gear, which is crazy, because it wouldn't do a damn thing for you if you weren't training and eating properly and resting. So firstly, we need to have them three things in place to the best of our ability. And the fourth thing really is just like a little, it just amplifies it, you know, it's just a little touch. It's not everything, you know. The minute you start growing muscle, people say, oh, look at him, he's taking loads of gear, which actually is not true. In most cases, you'll find that the bodybuilders just chose to sort of like, he's training hard, he's eating correctly, he's getting his rest, and yes, he might be taking a bit of gear, but that's only to amplify them first three things. So that's really it, really, as far as building muscle is concerned. It's very, very easy. What worked then, like I said, works now. It's never going to change. It's all right, people saying, oh yeah, but that's old school and we're doing new stuff now. But there is no new stuff, and there never will be. If you want to build muscle, you need to do them three things. You need to work hard. You need to eat correctly. You need to get your rest. That's it. There's nothing more to know. And you do them three things to the best of your ability.